Those of 103.1 FM.
Well, 11 o'clock on 103.1 on this Thursday. This segment comes to you with the best wishes of Batson and Associates, supporting health naturally. Dr. Jason Batson, good morning.
Hi, good morning. How are you doing?
Great, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Always a pleasure to be in your company. A pleasant good morning to the listeners of 103.1 FM. Today, of course, we're going to have a very interesting discussion as regards to health from a natural and integrated perspective. Last program, we spoke on a number of issues. We touched on depression, anxiety. We touched on insomnia, sleep, because, of course, this month, Batson and Associates is doing a promotion where we're offering our Nerve Restore product at a special price. There's a slight discount there. And the reason for that is because, so many persons, I believe now, are affected by anxiety, depression, even mental, in terms of having a proper mental state of mind as it regards to dealing with stress. Because we know there are so many of us, because of COVID-19, that has various levels of stress, depression as a result of that. Because, from a financial perspective, psychological perspective, physical perspective, there are some people who have put on some considerable weight during COVID, and they're not too happy about it. These are persons who are once fitness, enthusiasts and that kind of thing. But of course, because of the lockdown and not being able to be as active as you want, go into the beach and those type of things. You sort of let yourself go, not being able to go out and socialize. And because we are social beings, that of course would have affected persons in a negative light, So that's what we're going to discuss today. How could you now deal with stress from a natural and integrated perspective? Is there at all anything possible that you can use from a supplemental perspective to help you in that light? One. And we're also going to touch on the importance of nutrition and what really is involved in proper nutrition. Because there are a lot of people who just haven't gotten it. They don't understand the importance of nutrition. They don't understand what nutrition encompasses. I was in Tobago. I went to Tobago yesterday. And, I had some interesting discussion with some of our clients over there. And one of the discussions that I had with about 3 persons, out of the set of persons that I would have seen yesterday, is, they were saying they don't take vitamins, they don't take supplements because they eat well. And there are still persons out there who do not understand the importance of supplementation. And listen to what I'm saying to you. You need to educate yourself. There's a saying long time, ignorance is bliss. Because if you didn't know, you didn't know. They have the proverbial expression of the ostrich with the head in the sand. So the ostrich figures, listen to me, once I'm not seeing the danger, then the danger does not exist. That, of course, that doesn't make any sense. So there are a lot of us who, because you're not seeing the danger, because you're not aware of certain things, you believe that, there is no harm, you're good, you're healthy. And that's quite unfortunate. So we're going to discuss that a bit today, because there are a lot of diseases, there are a lot of issues that have been linked to serious deficiency in the body. Anyone who would have done high school biology, even primary school biology, we would have known that there was a point in time that sailors would have suffered from something known as scurvy, right? Now, scurvy, because they were on the seas for extended period of time, they would have been eating certain things. So they may have been using fish and certain types of foods. However, they were not getting proper vitamin C because, they weren't getting oranges, grapefruits, tangerines, whatever the case is. Fruits that would have been high in vitamin C. And as a result of that, they ended up with this deficiency and they ended up with vitamin C deficiency, which resulted in them having scurvy. There's also rickets, rickets is a deficiency of, I remember just now, but that was also a situation that a lot of persons in some time gone by would have suffered from as a result of deficiency. So when you're coming to the issues associated with depression and anxiety and those type of things, a lot of persons do not know that depressed people have serious deficiencies in the body. One of the major deficiencies that anyone who suffers from depression has is the deficiency of amino acids. That ability for the liver to convert protein to amino acid to protein. Those persons have limited amino acids, and as a result of that, amino acids would be responsible for the production of neurotransmitters. What are neurotransmitters? So neurotransmitters would be things like epinephrine, norepinephrine, serotonin, melatonin, and those are responsible for what? Sleep, mental health. So because of the deficiency, you no longer have the raw material to produce those neurotransmitters. And as a result of that, you're going to end up with some sort of diagnosis where you have situations where you are diagnosed as depression, anxiety, bipolar, even pregnancy with women. There's a reason why women go through what is known as postpartum depression. You know? Postpartum depression is as a result of deficiency, nutritional deficiency that pregnant women have. And just yesterday I was having a discussion with a client of mine, because women, when you make children, remember you lose a lot of minerals, and remember you're not feeding for you alone. And then when you're pregnant, you're fussy, you have this, you can't eat, this can't stay on your stomach, you have nausea. So a lot of the times you are deficient, and because of the deficiency you don't have for yourself, how is it possible you're going to have for the child that you're carrying? So as a result of that, there are some women after pregnancy, you can't see properly, your eyesight is woefully poor, you have problems losing hair, you have problems with your teeth. There are some women during pregnancy and after pregnancy, you have no teeth in your mouth because you would have lost calcium, you would have lost magnesium. Your bones are made up of what? Calcium, magnesium, and phosphorus in the form of calcium phosphate. So you could end up with osteoporosis and a whole host of things. So that alone is just a perfect example of what deficiency can cause in the body. Yes, we have a question.
Yeah, we do have a question for you. Do you have any complete vitamin formula that could be recommended for women who are experiencing perimenopause?
Yes, we do. We do. There's a product that we carry at Batson and Associates. Optimizer is one, because Optimizer is a type of vitamin. Optimizer is a free radical scavenger, and it is also a high-level antioxidant based on the ingredient profile, which is something known as pycnogenol. And pycnogenol is something that they actually extract from pine bark. The thing with that is that women who are perimenopause, because of the various deficiencies that they would have a lot of neurological complaints. So they will have problems with anxiety, depression. Then you would have the hormonal aspect of vaginal dryness. You'd have issues with even your attitude and your mentality. You can't really tolerate anybody. You become very irritable or easily irritated. And as a result of that, if women, excuse me, who have perimenopause or going through perimenopause are not careful, they could end up by themselves, because your partner wouldn't really stay with you if you're giving them that sort of problems. I mean, it takes a very strong, understanding man to tolerate that type of behavior, especially if it is for an extended period of time. So definitely there's something that we can help with that. Nerve Restore I always recommend. That's like my new favorite product. I mean, I love Alkagen water, I love Santulan, I love inflammation formula, the silver with the mineral formula. But Nerve Restore is like my new baby. So I really, really love that product because of how well it works. I mean, just this morning, I was having a discussion with a client of mine who is an overseas client. The person resides in the United States. And so much so she's like, Dr. Batson, I want my stocks replenished and I want to get at least 3 bottles of that Nerve Restore. I do not want to run out. And that's because of how good the product works. You really feel a significant difference mentally, psychologically. You could work, let me give you a quick example. You could work 12 hours for the day, come home, take a Nerve Restore, go and sleep, and I'm telling you, you'll get up by 6 o'clock, energized and ready for the day. That's how serious that product is, because it is an adaptogen. And if you, again, understand supplementation, nutrition, dietetics, that kind of thing, you will understand that adaptogens help the body do just that. They adapt to stress, and it helps with reducing cortisol, which we know is the stress hormone. So in doing that, you find that you're able to get maximum benefit from that particular product. So keep that in mind. That product is on special at Batson & Associates for the month of April. So you can always call, get some information. We do apologize about chlorophyll. We are a bit low on that right now. No fault of our own. the suppliers had one or two little challenges because of this Russia-Ukraine situation, but they have since corrected it, so we should have maybe in the next week, 2 weeks, we should get in stock.
All right, so we have another question for you. Do you have products to help beat anxiety?
Yeah, definitely. As I said, Nerve Restore is going to help with that. The Optimizer is going to help. You would need a carrier product of some sort, so I would recommend, in this case, the inflammation formula. And now, always keep in mind, everything that I usually recommend, I always tell persons, you have to take 2 things into consideration. Your water intake. If you are dehydrated, if you know you're a person, you're drinking 1 glass of water, you're forgetting to drink water, I suggest you do the water cleanse, which is basically using the alkaline water, where you would use anywhere between 6 to 8 glasses of water for the day, consistently for anywhere between 3 to 4 weeks, and then subsequent to that, you could use some of the those products that I mentioned. That is very, very important. Okay, just keep in mind our office telephone numbers. You can get us on 222-8261. That's 222-8261, as well as 314-9975. That is 314-9975. Those locations, we are located on the first floor of Money Talks building. That is Money Talks building in Montrose, Chaguanas. We also on the corner of Ramsamud Trace and the SS Erin Main Road in Davie, as well as Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James. Just allow me, in a little bit, I'm going to give you the numbers for Davie office. But those numbers again for Chaguanas, that is going to be 222-8261, as well as 314-9975. Let me just quickly say a pleasant good morning to our listeners on our social media platforms. On Facebook, we are Batson & Associates Limited. On Instagram, we are Batson & Associates TT. On YouTube, we are Batson & Associates Trinidad.
Here's a question for you. Are there any side effects to using these vitamins or supplements? Because sometimes there is a side effect. You sometimes want to eat more, or you don't sleep very well, or you just put on a lot of weight. Are there any side effects?
I mean, I would say no. You have to. Okay, so if you take a vitamin, right? Let me go back. What you have to understand a lot of times, supplementation depends on the individual that you're dealing with. So, like me, for example, I have a very busy schedule. I make sure there are things that I do not do without. I do not do without Nerve Restore. I do not do without the silver, the mineral formula, that kind of thing. So, a perfect analogy would be a vehicle. Let's say you have a car, you're a taxi driver, and you work from Port of Spain to San Juan. Now, your requirement as regards to the maintenance of your vehicle would be different for somebody who's working Port of Spain to San Fernando. Obviously, right? Because the Port of Spain to San Fernando run, of course, is a longer run. It's going to require more fuel. It's going to require more maintenance, that type of thing. So you have to know for yourself, what are your needs as regards to your daily activities? So if, for example, you're involved in sports, you go to the gym, you can't eat like somebody who is 65 and they live a sedentary lifestyle. They may be bedridden or something like that. So it is dependent on the requirements that you have. The unfortunate thing is, as I was saying before, a lot of persons are not educated properly on supplementation, because you deal with Western doctors, and Western doctors know absolutely nothing about that. So as regards to side effects, they don't really have any side effects once you use it properly and once you are guided accordingly. And that's where somebody like myself or Batson & Associate comes in, because that is one of my areas of specialization, which is clinical nutrition, which is nutrition for disease. But the thing is, if you are a diabetic, you can't be eating like everybody else. If you're hypertensive, you can't be eating like everybody else. You have rheumatoid arthritis, you can't be doing the same. If it is you are diagnosed, God forbid, with an autoimmune disease, which all these doctors now diagnosing, everybody have an autoimmune disease, and they're telling everybody they have lupus, MS, myasthenia gravis, and all these type of things. Your problem is that there is deficiency in the body. Look, for example, cancer. Do you know that one of the major prostate cancer has been linked to deficiency in zinc and selenium? D3, which has become so popular now as a result of COVID, D3 deficiency has been around for years, but a lot of persons didn't know anything about vitamin D3. Vitamin D3 could affect deficiency could affect your bones, it could affect your brain. It could affect so many different metabolic systems and functions in the body. So again, it is vitally important to get the information. And with that information now, you're actually able to arm yourself properly. I always tell persons, a wise man once said, people are afraid of what they do not know. So get to know, find out, ask a question. If you don't know, find out from somebody who knows, and then, you operate accordingly. Okay?
All right, listeners, so if you have any questions, feel free to WhatsApp us with the compliments of Batson and Associates. We're chatting with Dr. Jason Batson, studio number 2994103.
Definitely. Let me say a pleasant good morning to Miss Pamela Moses. Miss Pamela Moses was first in the gate this morning. Miss Rachel Johnson, a pleasant good morning to you. Always a pleasure to have you guys on. Nakisha Holder Marshall, PH Driver says good morning, Doc. Miss Laquisha Thomas, you have a fancy name there, girl. What do you recommend for persons who are studying in their late 30s? Laquisha, are you in Trinidad? Are you out of the country? You need to get yourself a cerebral. There's a very good omega we have that has astaxanthin in it. That's also something that I am a strong advocate of. Mira Kesraj is asking, what do you recommend for osteoporosis? Good question. CMOS, off the bat, get yourself some CMOS. If you can get the Toco CMOS, even better. And try and blend it every day. Do not use any milk and sugar in it, please. Just choose a fruit you like, whether it's banana, papaya, or something like that, and you blend it in an osterizer with your necessary greens and whatnot. Okay, apart from that, inflammation formula is something that you could take a look at. Very good product at Batson and Associates. It actually helps to reduce inflammation in the body. Apart from that, you are also looking at Optimizer, and there's also a product that we carry called Bone Restore. I know we have some of that in stock. Laquisha is saying that she is in Trinidad, so you can get some of that. There's also a product we carry called Joint Tea, which is actually a tea for the joints. Very good product. So you could look at those as well.
How safe are those products for children?
It depends. I mean, there are a lot of products that I could recommend for children. There's a next thing a lot of people do not understand. I'm quite glad for that question. I've had children that have come to me, because I do deal with children, 3, 4, 5 years, and these children are woefully undernourished because somebody went to a doctor and the bright doctor tell them that you're not supposed to give children vitamins. That's not true. That's not true at all. Keep in mind, the dietary requirement of the human body is vast and advanced. And as I said, it's not understood by a lot of people, especially the naysayers as regards to don't use herbs, don't use this, don't use that, don't use the other. They could tell you what not to use, but they could recommend, in some cases, nonsense for you to take to damage your liver and your kidney. And that's just me being blatant and blunt. So I'll give you an example. You might be a male and you start to experience prostate problems. So you might have problem urinating. You may be experiencing burning. And you go to a doctor. You may go to what are they called, boy? You might go to a urologist. And the urologist does an ultrasound and he says, listen, your prostate is enlarged. And of course, the next recommendation, they're going to recommend some sort of muscle relaxant. So you might get some Flomax or some Avodat, or then they might go a little further and recommend those hormonal situations. So you might get Terazocin or something like that. My concern with that is this. The doctor didn't ask you how much water you drink. He didn't ask you what type of bowel movement you have, because bowel toxicity is most of the time responsible for prostate cancer, or it is a serious contributory factor to prostate cancer, BPH, which is benign prostatic hyperplasia, and prostatitis, which is infection of the prostate. None of those questions was asked. Your diet, if you're a person who consumes a lot of meat is responsible for a lot of nitrogenous waste in the body. It significantly increases metabolic waste in the body, so it makes it even worse and, build up of toxins, so it contributes to that. So where is the question? Cold water. There are a lot of men, you love a cold water. They're fed up till they don't drink it, but you believe, okay, the place is hot, you need to drink cold water. And those are serious contributory factors to that prostate problem, but no one has addressed it. You simply decided to give me medication. And I'm not saying not to take your medication, nor am I saying all medication is bad. I will never say something like that. That would be irresponsible of me. But what I'm saying, we need to determine the condition. What practices are you doing to negatively affect you and put you in that situation in the first place? And how do we now correct that? And then do we deal with deficiencies? Because with men, selenium deficiency, zinc deficiency, dehydration can contribute to that situation. And that's what we need to do. A lot of times, medical professionals put the horse before the carriage, as the old people would say. And that doesn't, or the carriage before the horse, I want to say, sorry, that's the correct thing. And that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. You need to determine what condition are you in and why are you in this condition. Let me say something quickly. I had a conversation with someone yesterday. Lady, I was over, speaking to a good friend of mine there. And one of the things that this individual was telling me is that they have a serious situation that is skin related. You know something? They didn't understand. The first question I asked them, I said, how much water do you drink? Now, they didn't understand the relevance of the question, which most people do not. You know, I come tell you, but I was speaking to someone on the sideline kind of thing. And they were saying, well, I don't like water at all. I don't drink water. I maybe drink 1 glass of water. I said, are you aware that the reason that you have that problem that you have is because you don't drink water? She has been going to doctors for about 5 years to deal with this problem. It is getting worse. The problem is really bad. None of them ever ask her how much water she drinks. And the thing with me, when people come to me, they think I am maybe a bit, how to put it, boy, passionate is the word you want to use. Okay, good, we'll take that one.
That's a radio-friendly word.
Yeah, that's a radio-friendly word, because I just both, because I am not a person believing wasting time. Time is something that nobody could give you. You could lose money, you could lose a lot of things, and you could regain those things. You can't get back time. Once you lose time, you cannot get it back. So don't waste my time and don't waste your time. But when I spoke to the individual, then after a while, they understood that they were just spinning top in mud. And a lot of persons out there spin top in mud. You're wasting time. You're wasting good time being sick and mining sickness because you're not addressing the root cause of the problem. And you're not honest enough to understand that you are eating rubbish on a daily basis because you like the rubbish. Now, you can make excuses. That's the only thing I could get. That's the cheapest thing. I'm working on the road. So, I can't get something. No. Because God forbid when you get a heart attack or you get a stroke, those excuses wouldn't help you. So you need to make a concerted effort to try and do better as regards to what you put in your mouth on a daily basis and as regards to what you do in relation to your diet. Very important. We have a question?
We have a few questions coming your way. So last week we discussed sleep, and we mentioned it again this morning. This person says, I suffer RLS, which is the restless leg syndrome, and this affects my sleep greatly. Do you have any suggestions?
Yeah, if you have restless leg syndrome, restless leg syndrome is an issue of the central nervous system. So it means that the central nervous system is not functioning properly. But let's go back a little bit. Which system assists the central nervous system in its function? The circulatory system. Which system assists the circulatory system in its function? The lymphatic system. And then we could go to the gastrointestinal system. So the point is, again, you need to address those systems. So I don't know your diet. I don't know how much water you drink. That's the first thing you need to address. The rule for drinking water is your body weight divided by 2 in ounces. That is what you have to do. You need to drink your body weight divided by 2 in ounces minimally for the day. It is now 25 minutes past 11. You know how much water I would have drank for the day already? I have drank 1, 2, 3. I have already drank 2.5 liters of water. And it's just 11:25. I got up 4:30 this morning. But that's practice. I've been doing this not now. I've been doing this for years. So you have to understand that you have to, hydration is first and foremost in the body. After oxygen, the body's most required anything is hydration, water. So that's very important. There are things that we have, but I'm always going to push forward for that water and hydration. Exercise as well, but hydration fundamentally.
This is related to infertility, no PCOS or any diagnosis, just unable to get pregnant. Partner has been checked and good to go as well. Just not sure why this is not happening. Do you have any suggestions?
Yeah, definitely. Now, we say a pleasant good morning again to our Facebook listeners, Angel Bazi. Mr. Kishon Vane is in the house. Mr. Vane says, stop eating rubbish. Mr. Vane, you are having a good time, aren't you, sir? He says, drink some. Yes, plenty water. Miss Kathleen Ishmael, always a pleasure. Miss Shirley Modest. Yeah, definitely. Miss Modest, I'll answer your question just now. The thing is, if you're having problem conceiving, there could be a number of things. Polycystic ovaries is a signal of serious hormonal imbalance. It is always a serious, a serious issue as it relates to lack of proper circulation to the uterus. So women who have problems with fertility, you need to look at those things. It can also be an issue associated with proper alignment of the body. Because women, for example, most females, uterus would be anteverted in its position. There is something known as retroverted. So you could have a retroverted uterus. And a lot of doctors say that a retroverted uterus is not a problem. I, however, disagree. Because you can have a chiropractor, trained chiropractor, actually reposition the uterus for you, because that is also a contributory factor to infertility. You can also have issues associated with problems where your womb may be a bit low or weak, and as a result of that, you are not able to sustain the pregnancy for the entire duration. So you may have a miscarriage, maybe 3 months into the pregnancy, that type of thing. So you can get a consultation with us. I know I'm like woefully overbooked, but we are trying our best to fit in as much persons as possible. We did work for the last holiday going there, and I'm trying to do some makeup days. Keep in mind, I have some very well-trained consultants. I need to start to bring them. They're going to be coming back on the radio with me very soon, to highlight a present good morning to Mr. Rene Bustamante, Ms. Karishma Ramdan, Mr. Paul Green, always doing some really good work there, and all the other members of staff and my colleagues at Batson and Associates.
All right, here's another question for you. What can be used to stabilize hormones?
This is a female or a male? Did they say? They didn't say. Okay, well, either way. So if it's a female, which I'm assuming that it is, there's a product that we carry called Women's Formula. We carry something called Female Balance. There's a product we have called Cyst and Fibroid Formula. The new shipment we get, that product would have been renamed, and we changed some things in it to Uterine Formula to help women with uterine health. Because there are a lot of women who do not understand the importance of having proper uterine health and having proper oxygen flow to the uterus to continue to have proper hormonal balance. Okay, so that's something you could look at.
All right, so back to the person who texted in with the RLS question. He says, I normally drink a lot of water. I have tried acupuncture, went to see a neurologist, blood test revealed I have enough iron and magnesium, and yes, I do exercise.
No. Something wrong there. You need to come and let us check you out. You need to do a live blood analysis. We do the dry blood analysis, and we do that magnetic scan on you. And once we look properly and in depth look in that blood, especially from the dry aspect where we look at what is known as biological terrain, we'll figure out your problem. Because I've dealt with a lot of people that they don't have it again. There is there's a missing link somewhere. And we need to find that link.
Okay, so one more question as we get ready to wrap up. I believe 30 minutes have gone already. This person is asking for your advice on internal hemorrhoids and symptoms.
And symptoms. Well, the thing is, internal hemorrhoids are a very serious thing. Hemorrhoids are usually an indication of a strained gastrointestinal system, but is seriously related to the circulatory system. So I would recommend Alkagen water. I would recommend Inflammation Formula. You need some digestive. We carry a lot of digestive aids at Batson and Associates. We have Digestive Restore, which we got back in stock. So we have that in stock now. We have Digestive Balance, and we also carry something called ProDigest. I would suggest the ProDigest and the Digestive Restore and that would be able to start to give you some help in that situation. You need to consume a lot of water, and you need to pay very close attention to your meals and ensure that they are very high in fiber. We could also make some recommendations there and sort of tweak a program for you, and you would definitely get some excellent results. Okay, so I know our time is here, so let me just give you those telephone numbers quickly. The number for Debe office, Debe, is 223, my apologies, 7515, as well as 341-4813. That again is 223-7515, as well as 341-4813. And for head office, Chaguanas, that number is 222-8261, 222-8261, as well as 314-9975. Keep in mind, we do have our delivery service available, so you could also call and get some information on that. And as we always say at Batson and Associates, if you think health is expensive, try sickness. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. It is always a pleasure to be in your company, my dear. To all the listeners of 103.1 FM, God bless. Do enjoy the rest of your Thursday, and try your best and take very, very good care of yourself.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jason Batson. Those of you with questions still coming in via WhatsApp, we'll save those questions, and those will be discussed in next week's show. All right, so good to catch up with you, Dr. Batson. Until next week, this has been a 30-minute segment with the compliments of Batson and Associates.
It's a paid program. The views expressed within were not those of 103.1 FM.
Yes, social media, Facebook. Pleasant good morning to Miss Lucy Lara, Miss Harrington. You rock, Dr. B. I'll take that. Thank you very much. Miss Angela Andrews, good morning to Dr. Batson and your family. Miss Nicole Hankel, good morning. What to take for a bad tear? Meniscus? Oh, okay. Well, you need to get some CMOS for that, man. I'm a big advocate of CMOS. I mean, I tell you, drink CMOS. I mean, there's so much nutrients inside of that. For that torn meniscus, I'll recommend the nerve restore will help that situation, because it does help the body to improve and speed up healing. You also need to address the optimizer will also help in that situation as well. You can also use the inflammation formula. Miss Pat Ashton is asking about gout. Gout has a lot to do with excess uric acid, so you need to look at your diet. You also need to pay very close attention to the levels of inflammation in your body. So inflammation formula would help. And there's omega that we use with astaxanthin that also helps. The joint tea is also going to help as well. Circulation tea is also going to help. Okay. Someone mentioned that you had an appointment on Tuesday. Yes, I know my schedule got really thrown off this week, because I was really supposed to go to Tobago and work Tuesday, but we ended up having to change the day to Wednesday. Those things happen. But I'm going to be doing a makeup day for St. James, God's willing, next week, please God. So we'll address that. Keep in mind, all offices have now the eye optics formula. I believe that they has gotten theirs. If they have not gotten it, they should have it by tomorrow, please God. But we have gotten eye optics formula in stock now. So you guys who would have been calling and putting down your name, we could now facilitate your order. All right. To the listeners on Instagram, a pleasant good morning to you. I was just looking to see if you have any questions on Instagram. I'm not seeing any. Okay, so as usual, it's always a pleasure to be in your company. Today, there was a change in our regular scheduled programming, where we would not be having our program on Akashvani, which is 106.5 FM. Today, we normally have a program from 12:15 to 12:45. We do not have that today, quite unfortunately, but we're going to have to reschedule that program. God's willing, we are on for Sunday coming, and we have a very interesting program planned for you guys. And of course, coming soon, I know I promised you guys something for the longest while, something regarding financial health. My good friend, Mr. Kishon Vane, was making some mention there as regards to the health aspect. And of course, that is the gentleman that we will be going to as regards to that financial health aspect. So stay tuned for that. I do not want to confuse or mix up these things, so I'm going to be having that on a different aspect. But I'm, of course, going to be basically providing information. My philosophy is this: if something worked for me, and I could share it with others, I'm simply sharing. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. You know, we had to shift up some things a bit because, you know, certain things got thrown off. You know, that's life sometimes. But we have not forgotten the goal, or the destination rather, but we just had to change the course of the direction of the journey. Okay, a pleasant good morning to Miss Pauline McKenna, my very good friend there in Trinity. Good morning to you. And Miss Shirley Modest is saying, what do you recommend for cervical spondylosis? You need to get some inflammation formula. You need to get some nerve restore. You also need to get some of that optimizer. That's also going to help you as well. And maybe I could recommend a very good chiropractor for you. There are some people that deal with. I usually recommend persons to them because I'm satisfied with the level of work that they do. So I could always pass on that information to you guys. Someone is saying, morning, trying to follow your recommendation from my consultation, and I am, okay, I'm not seeing this properly. Okay, and I am feeling much better physically and emotionally. Honestly, I need to be 100% more consistent. Thank you so very much. And that's Joanne Thomas. Yes, right. Good morning. Trying to follow your recommendation from my consultation, and I'm feeling much better physically and emotionally. I'm so glad to hear that. I'm really, really glad to hear that, and I hope you continue to follow your program. Be a little more consistent. I know sometimes it's a bit difficult to be consistent, but I'll tell you something quickly. Let me share this with you before you go. A lot of people have challenges with water. What I tell them, I say, listen, get a bottle. If you have to get a 2-liter bottle, a 3-liter bottle, maybe a 4-liter bottle, get a big bottle. And if you're in an office environment, in a situation, put the bottle on the desk and watch the bottle and let the bottle watch you back. And ensure, because once you do that, you now set a goal. Because, you know, remember in marketing what they teach you, that your goal is supposed to be, the acronym is SMART, right? Specific, M, measurable, A, attainable, R, realistic, and T, time-oriented, right? So the thing is, in setting goals, you can't just go cold turkey from not drinking water at all to just want to go and drink 10 glasses of water. Your body won't tolerate that. You're going to become nauseous. You're going to become annoyed. So you need to pace yourself. Let me put it like that. Pace yourself. Ask anyone who runs marathons. A marathon runner do run like a sprinter, you know. They have to do what? They have to pace themselves. So it's just a matter of pacing yourself. All right? Miss Annette Robinson saying, hi, Dr. Batson. If there was a starter kit of your products, what are the must-have for someone new to your products? Ah, good. I love that question. That's an excellent question. Okay, Annette. That would be a little more. Okay. I would say alkaline water. I always tell people hydration is important and the type of water you drink is very important. Alkaline water does make a difference, providing that it's alkaline water you're really getting. Because you need to be careful. There are some people out there who telling you you're getting alkaline water, and that's not the case. So just be careful. The alkaline water, definitely. The Santulan is a must-do because that's a 7-channel detox that cleans and detoxifies kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. Okay? I would recommend Nerve Restore, definitely, because Nerve Restore helps you deal with stress, that kind of thing. And why I like that question so much, that's one of the things that we actually put together on our social media, where we have starter kits for persons, you know, and reasonable too. We have like a gold, a silver, and a bronze package, where, you know, we put it depending on how your pocket running. Because I'll tell you something, I don't really call price for a number of reasons, because I find it's very unprofessional. So I send people either to my clinics, the offices, or to the social media platforms to get the price, right? I'm just saying this. If you have $300, just $300, you can come to Batson and Associates. You'll get you'll get 3 bottles of alkaline water. You'll get 1 pack of Santulan, and you'll get some teas that are exceptionally good. And that alone, with just $300, could start you on your way to starting to feel better. The thing is economics, and there are always an economic consequence to anything in life. But you have to prioritize you. And a lot of us don't do that. Because you will pay for the car, you'll pay for the house, you'll pay for the children, you will find money to do certain things. But listen to me. All those things are unnecessary and irrelevant if you are not around. You have to put your health first. You know, I was listening to a motivational speaker this morning, just coming in the car. And one of the things he said He said you can take away money from a millionaire. You talk about Walt Disney. He said Walt Disney went bankrupt, I think, 8 times. But if you take most millionaires, they would have been bankrupt several times in their lives. But they were able to do what? Make back what? Money. Why? Because they possessed health. One of the greatest gifts that anybody could possess is health. Your health is your wealth. Because regardless of any situation that you are placed in, once you are healthy and you have health on your side, you can come out of that situation. Always remember that. Okay? Let me just look quickly. Someone was asking something. It was something about the financial health. Let me see if I find it quickly. But we really need to get cracking with that. Joanne Thomas, need the research on financial health and its relationship with physical health. You're sure right. Yeah, it is. And that's just what I said there. Because remember, one of the things that you have to do is take care of yourself. It annoys me to see wealthy people unhealthy. Sometimes I don't comprehend it. I mean, you would have had to make sacrifices, while people sleeping, you may be up working and that kind of thing. But, one of the best books I've ever read, one of the first things the person highlighted was your physical health. Spiritual health, of course, is first and foremost in my mind. Spiritual health, and after that, your physical health. Because if you don't have those two, you can accomplish nothing. Always keep that in mind. So financial health is something that we're going to look at in the very, very near future. But of course, I will just be using this platform to guide you in a different direction. Because I don't want to mix up the two. With what we're doing here, we're going to have to do that somewhere else. So, but we'll guide you accordingly when that time comes. Okay? So, as we always say at Batson and Associates, if you think health is expensive, try sickness. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. God continue to bless you and your family. Continue to take care of yourself. Continue to, do a little meditation and do you. Treat yourself better and your body's going to reward you. Okay? Keep in mind those telephone numbers. Daybase office is 223-7515. That's 223-7515. As well as 341-4813. 341-4813. And for Shogunas, that number is 222-8261. 222-8261. As well as 314-9975. Keep in mind, we do have our road delivery system still implemented, so you can call and get some information on that. As I said, we do have iOptics formula in stock, so those of you who would have been waiting, we do apologize for the wait, but we do have it in stock now, so you can get that. So take care of yourself until Sunday, God's willing. Sunday from 9. We will see you guys. Okay? Take care. Bye-bye.